Hi guys, happy new year everyone. I'm back in 2023. Yeah. Anyway, I'm very happy this year, especially this Feb month, this love month, because I had a successful standard visit visa for my parents. So that's what I'm gonna talk about this vlog. Again, disclaimer. I am sharing the video of how to process, but not all requirements are applicable to you. But this will serve as additional information that you might think would be beneficial to you if you add on these requirements. Okay, so let us start. Introduction. My parents are senior citizens already. Again, I am a Filipino nurse living in the UK, so I'll be getting my parents a standard visitor visa in the Philippines. They also have an active income through business, so I don't really need to sponsor them fully. And they also have properties and things like that. It's not as complicated, but somehow we will never know what requirements they want, but we just laid everything to them, just because it will also cost you money if you will have a denied application. First of all, how much does it cost to have a standard visitor visa that is 6 months? So I have all my notebooks in here. If you can see, I am very serious about this. Just a hearsay that if your parents are senior citizens, they are easier to acquire a visit visa. But, well, I'm not so sure. I'm not 100%, but I held on that thought as well. So first, the visitor standard visit visa will cost you roughly around 123 US dollars. So it's in US dollars. It will now depend on the exchange rate of that moment. That's per person. And then when you already pay that one, then you have to book, for us in the Philippines, we need to book under VFS. We have VFS Cebu, Philippines, and we have VFS Manila, Philippines. Well, my parents are in the Visayas. I will book them in Cebu, Philippines. And we paid 3,817 pesos per person. But it now also depends, I think, on our US dollar exchange rate at that time, converted to Philippine peso. So that is just a processing fee. That's not a bronze package, scanning package. No, that's plainly just the fee of the VFS processing. So that's what you need for the payment of all of their visa. Let's talk about what requirements did I present. So the situation was, I am not fully sponsoring them, meaning I'm not fully sponsoring their budget, their plane ticket, but of course I am only sponsoring the accommodation, other miscellaneous needs they'll be having here in the UK. So let's just say food, transpo. So just declare that in the visit visa. But if your parents are fully capable of sponsoring themselves, then just don't provide anything money, just the accommodation would be fine. So but for me, I provided a little amount of the sponsorship money for that. These are the requirements I have presented. I have presented my, oh, by the way, for those who are new here, I am already married. I have a 5-year-old, so we are all living in the UK. They are my dependents, and I am already here for 2 years. I just had anniversary few days ago, so I'm already here 2 years. So that's the situation. Okay, we're living together in a one flat. So what I presented was my birth certificate and my husband's birth certificate, my marriage certificate, and then my BRP, which is also my husband's and my daughter's BRP. And then our passport, my passport and my husband's passport, and our certificate of employment. The latest, you have to get this from your HR or whichever is handling your release of the certificate of employment, the latest. My hubby also got his certificate of employment, certificate of sponsorship. If you're asking if the COS would be fine if it expired, yes, because of course the COS will really be expired, because that when you are attaining your skilled worker visa. But of course, make sure that the COS, contract of employment, is still valid in that COS. So mine is still valid on my third year, and I am just here 2 years, and my contract is valid for 3 years. So my COS is fine. And then tenancy agreement of your flat, and this is where I would accommodate my parents. And for those who have mortgage, that's what you will be presenting as well. So your accommodation details or accommodation contracts, you will present in this part. And then you will present also, since I will be sponsoring some money for my parents, I am presenting my bank certificates. So this is just my bank certificate, because it's enough in our savings already for the amount that we will be spending for my parents. If one of your bank statements, one of you, husband or wife, or sisters or brothers or whatever, is already capable and have enough budget for the presented amount that you will sponsor your parents, then that bank statement is enough. But if you wanted more additional proof that you are very much more capable, very na nga, much pa, more pa, capable, very redundant but very over to the top, then you can present more bank statements. So my bank certificate, I presented 3 months bank certificate for that only, because anyway I'm just sponsoring them for miscellaneous, tented 3 pay slips. It's not a huge money that I'll be sponsoring them. But for you, if you are sponsoring them fully, then you should like present 6 months probably. It depends on your situation, and I'm not so sure if 6 months would be enough or 3 months would be enough, but for me it was enough for our requirements. That's your sponsor's requirements. And lastly, of course, the invitation letter. If you want a sample for the invitation letter, I can give you one. Just go to my Facebook page, Mrs. Felina Capulso. Give me a message so I can send you the sample of the invitation letter. In the invitation letter, I have just stated that I wanted to invite my parents here in the UK, because it's been 2 years already that I haven't had a chance to go home, and that I also want to have a bonding, because it's been 2 years. It has passed 2 years already. Plus, it would be my birthday month, so I wanted them to be there with me. And of course, while they are here, I would also like them to visit the tourist destinations within the UK. So, what my whole invitation letter was. I did not present any itinerary, because for me, it's quite. Actually, I just got lazy to present an itinerary. But of course, for me, it's not 100% sure that your itinerary will be final or will be fixed on the day that it will be coming. So I just did not submit one. However, I just presented that they will just be here for 4 weeks. So that's why I told myself, if I will put an itinerary for 4 weeks, that might not be possible, because of course, there are changes. Would they be staying here for a week? Where will I go in this week? So I just didn't. But it was all right. We did not send an itinerary. How much would you need to sponsor your parents fully? A hearsay again, or maybe you could check the gov.uk. They've said that you should budget per person 100 to 150 pounds per day per person. Thankfully, don't need to sponsor them fully. Plus, I have only declared 4 weeks just because I'm not so sure if they would be able to spend more time beyond beyond the time of a month, because they also have things to do back in the Philippines. So it was safe to just say 4 weeks. Plus, budget wise, the assessor would really think that this money, this amount that we presented, would be enough for 4 weeks. However, the standard visit visa, if you would be approved, it would be valid for 6 months. So it's up to you to extend the stay for your parents until up to 6 months. But hearsay again, I always say hearsay because it's not 100% sure that it's written. Everything that is not written that I can see in the gov.uk, I believe it's a hearsay. Because I don't want you to think that this is the final or the very 100% sure statement, and it's not applicable. Again, it might not be really true, but it's just giving you an idea just in case it is true. So they said that it is okay to declare like 2, 3, 4 weeks in the visit visa application, and then when your parents extend up until 6 months, it is all right again, because at least it's still valid within the 6 months. However, when you want to reapply your parents' standard visit visa, and they have seen that you have just applied for 4 weeks in the previous visit visa, but your parents extended up until 6 months, they would question what happened, why they have extended up until 6 months. But as for me, I took the risk. I took the risk just because budget wise, it is more feasible. If you have plans to your parents visit every year, so I believe you have to declare the exact days, the exact months for your parents visitor visa. Okay, it's me. It's gonna be my risk. It's gonna be our risk. So you don't need to follow this style of application. Let's just say about the timeline. So the timeline is I have paid on the 16th of January 2003. I have paid the VFS, and then I have booked a VFS appointment for them. That's going to be on the 18th of January 2023. So on that 16th of January, I also uploaded all the documents in their account, each of their account. Remember, each same set for each of them, because they have the same documents. On the 3rd of February 2023, that was the time that we have received a text message that the application of the standard visitor visa has already been back to the center, the VFS center, and it's ready for pickup. I'm very thankful because the whole timeline was just around 2 weeks. So I was so happy because I have always read and heard that it will take like 6 to 8 weeks, but my parents' visit visa was just decided and was received on its second week. So how amazing is that? God is so amazing, because of course my parents are very devoted also, and we prayed for this, and then I prayed for this as well, that it will be a smooth sailing application, and it really did. So thank you, Lord. Now, second part is to give you what are the requirements of my parents. What did they submit? In each of the application, these are what I have submitted. So they should bring the passport to VFS, and they would leave that passport to VFS until it will be back. So make sure first that before you apply, their passport is valid, very valid. meaning it will not expire in a year, because of course when they fly, the VisaNet will be there. So make sure just to get them a new passport if it is gonna just expire within the year or a few months. So passport should be valid. So what I uploaded for them is financial evidence category. I have given my parents' bank statement and bank certificate in that. Consent letters and proof of relationship. My mom and my dad's birth certificate. And then their national IDs, my mom and dad. So if you have UMID IDs, driver's license for whoever, just present them national IDs for both of them. Their marriage certificate, additional documents. That is where I have uploaded their lots, their insurance policies. If your parents have like history of travels within the past 10 years, this is where you will upload as well in the additional documents. On their employment evidence, which they did have an employment evidence, I have put them our business certificate and an income tax certificate. If you want a copy of this, there is a copy of this. So that are just all the documents that we have submitted to VFS. And of course, my documents will be in each of their account will be uploaded as well, which is in the category of sponsor evidence. So everything you have in the sponsor evidence, put it all in that I have mentioned a while ago that I have submitted as sponsor. That will all be in that category, sponsor evidence. So as the invitation letter should be in that sponsor evidence category. That's it, guys. That's all our requirements. Isn't it complicated or what? Now, this video is quite long already. Just it's already just documents and things like that. Let me just get a part 2 of this to tell you the answer in each of the questions in their standard visa. So all these questions, let me just discuss this in my second video. I don't want this video to take an hour to get into this one. So these are just the requirements. Since it's already so long, I'm sorry I am so talkative, but of course I really have to emphasize other things just so you would know. So requirements, that's it. Requirements for standard visitor visa. If you want to know how to fill up all the questions in the standard visitor visa for your parents, go to part 2 of this video. Thank you, and again, thank you for watching. Mrs. Felina Capuzzo, trying to pay it forward. Please subscribe, like, and share. Bye!